People often ask me why they should be including public relations in their marketing plan, why they should be using it, and what's the use of public relation. The main goal, the ultimate goal of public relations is to get people to talk about you, to feature you. That's the ultimate goal of PR, and this is why everybody should be including it in their marketing plan. Bonjour, hello everyone. I'm Nata, host of the Nata PR School podcast. You're a successful entrepreneur or marketing manager and you're about to launch a new product or service, or you've been selling your goods for quite some time, but you want to learn how to increase your visibility, get known, and reach more clients? At Nata PR, we deal with real clients every day, and we'll teach you simple, fun, and honest PR solutions. You'll learn easy steps to combine PR to social media right now. Keep listening and let's get started. Bonjour, hello, and welcome to episode 109 of the Nata PR School podcast. I can't believe it. 109th episode. Crazy, right? So today we talk, of course, about public relations and how do you get featured? How do you get talked about? That's the whole deal here. So what is public relations for? That's the questions I'm often asked. And by people who know me, what are you doing exactly? And why should people use public relations? So you can set yourself plenty of targets, of course, when you decide to use public relations. It can be to increase your visibility if you're already known, or if you're not known at all. That's the main objective too, is getting known. And as I said, the ultimate goal, the most important one, the one that every public relations campaign is about having your client, the product of our clients talked about, right? Featured in newspaper, blogs, website, have influencers talk about you. So that's the ultimate goal. But how do you achieve that goal? What makes a journalist or an influencer decide to give you an interview or agree to talk about you? You might think sometimes that your competitors, if you are following some of them and some other companies, they have cast a spell on journalists, right? It seems that some people are really good at getting talked about, at getting featured all the time. That's the impression you have because you read about those people all the time. There must be some almost witchcraft to it. It seems like it, and I can relate to that. But you're just maybe as worthy of interest as they are. Maybe your product or your service is better even than what these guys are proposing. And how come journalists never contact you? We know why. So how do these people manage to get articles, reviews, and how do they manage to get featured online and in magazines? And while you're not there, people don't contact you, influencers don't contact you, and you don't know how to do that. So getting talked about comes down to 6 super simple steps that we teach at the Nata PR School, and I'm giving you these 6 steps is the Nata PR School model, Nata PR model. There's a link always at the bottom of this podcast, so click on it, and I'm giving it to you for free. It's very simple. You'll see, just to give you an idea of these 6 steps, and this is what we teach at the Nata PR School, but this is step 1. Step 1 is to figure out why an influencer or a journalist would decide to talk about you. You have to find out why. And let me give you an example because it's always the best way to understand how to find those why. Let's say you've created an electric car that's better than Tesla. Because yes, it's possible. So step 1 is really following the footsteps of Tesla. Follow the leader. Someone has invented that. I'm not going to copy this, but I think it's you follow them. It's something everybody can do, and it's accessible to anyone right now. So anyone who really talks about Tesla, just follow them. Go look at what they say. So let's say for the purpose of this exercise in this podcast, you have an electric car that's better than Tesla. This is what you would do. You would have to tell them why. So you define why a journalist would talk about you. You're better than Tesla, okay, but why? You have a better battery. You might be greener than Tesla. Why? Because all the components of your car are traceable. Let's say the inside of your car are 100% vegan. You don't use any animal products. These you're manufactured locally. This can be another reason. Or this is a good one. You're ready to do a comparison of your car with the Teslas. You're ready to do a road test. Maybe you have a better charge, a better battery, a better, body of your car, right? So you're ready to has top journalists who love Tesla, talk about Tesla all the time, test your own car. You see where I'm going? This is the same thing for beauty, food. And maybe you're celebrating an anniversary too. I love those. A first, a fifth. You might have an Elon Musk working for you. Maybe he's nicer and smarter. You have a CEO who's willing to give interviews. These are reasons why, you see? So once you've identified these reasons, you don't need to send all those reasons at once. You can send all of those reasons one by one. They can all be a press release, each of them. So number 2, you have to make Google your best friend. For most of us, and especially my young employees, the ones who were born with internet, we think it's a given. Given is a Google, but we forget how ultra high performing, like how cool Google is an amazing tool. So take the time to do some researches online with Google and find out what the current trends are about electric cars. What are the media? Maybe your car, your new electric car has found solution that Tesla hasn't found yet. So because this is where you will find what interests journalists and read those articles. So know that you'll find everything on Google. You'll find everything on electric car. What are the trends right now? What are they looking for? And well, as well as me, that Google has become a verb. Let's Google it now. Let's go and... So on your marks, Googlers, let's go do some researches. I find it so amazing that today you can just find everything. Makes your life easy. Sometimes difficult because it might be a bit scary to know that you can find everything and anything. So learn also to keep your researches, to put them in your favorites, because you're going to want to go back to those. And do like me, look, and if you don't know, ask Google to tell you how to do it. Look up with Google, of course, the contact information of the journalists who wrote those articles. You should be able to find them. Number 3, journalists love being in contact directly with the company, with your marketing team, instead of having in between a PR agency like ours. This is a big secret I'm telling you today because, well, of course, if you're crazy busy, you will hire a public relation agency, and some journalists love working with agencies because they know they're going to get what they want quickly. So they love working with us because we're in between. We represent brands. We represent brands that don't have that expertise in-house. But let's say you don't have the money to hire a PR agency. You can do it on your own. You're just not going to do the scope of work we're doing, but you can do it. And this is what I'm teaching at the Nata PR School podcast. So keep following us. So know that. So journalists just love talking to you. The owner, the brand, they love that. Number 3, well, you have to tell them who you are. Many of our clients spend so much time developing their product before even launching them. So they come with this beautiful package and they haven't thought of how they will sell it out there, how they will promote it. Maybe you thought about how you will sell it, but you have a sales team, but you don't even thinking. You say, we'll think about that after. But you should be thinking about it from day one. How will you promote it? How will you have people talk about this one? So what should people say? What will attract the attention of people? So tell them who you are. You know why? Because journalists and influencers, they love to be the first to share your news. Let's say you just signed a deal with an electric motor for boats, right? And it's a brand that's in Europe, but you signed it for North America. So that's a news just right there. And then, you have the right to build a manufacturer. That's another news. You might have some journalists who decide to start talking about that and following you. They will want to know what's happening. So, that's your journey. They might be talking about every steps. So tell them who you are. They don't know who you are. Number 3 is also they're not waiting to receive news from you. Unless you're Coca-Cola or a huge company that they follow, they don't even know you. So they're not waiting to receive news from you. And that's another super nice secret, well-kept secret. They don't have a lot of time as they used to do a lot of researches. So if you give them some great information, true information that with the source and everything is super ready and well done, so that you make them save time and you send them accurate information, they will fall in love with you. Number 4. So number 1, you have to find out why they would talk about you. Number 2, do some researches to find out who will be talking about you. Number 3, you have to tell your story, who you are. Number 4, repetition, which we call following up. How do you follow up with journalists? They're just like you and me. Journalists and influencers, they're just like us. They are busy. So don't hesitate to contact them more than once. When a client tells me, we tried that. We sent a press release. Nobody got back to us. Wow. If it was that simple, I could charge so much more money, right? It's not that simple. So you have to follow up, send them, get in touch with them again with a new information for them that wasn't in the first email you sent them, and give them some time. Right? Time is of the essence here. It's really important. And be courteous. Have some manners when, let's say, a journalist decide to talk about you and influencers. It's a privilege. They've chosen you to talk about you. Huh? And if you're good with humor, I'm not. You can always use that. If it's nice and subtle and smart, you can send emails. Smart emails. They will love that. This will catch their attention. So tell yourself, my friends, it's a privilege if a journalist or even an influencer gives you an interview or agrees to talk about you. They've chosen you, and it's a privilege, and nothing is forcing them to do that. So acknowledge it. Thank them. When the article is published, just send them a thank you note. Yes, they're human, just like you and I. So voila, I hope this little PR break was really useful today and answered one of the questions that everybody's asking me. So what is PR and why should they use PR? Is it useful? What do you need to accomplish with PR? And ultimate goal, as I told you, is to get featured, get talked about. So voila, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode and you'll be joining me next week. À la semaine prochaine. Hey, you want to learn more about how to implement PR strategies? Head on to natapr.com and get on our list. You will also receive the Nata PR model on how to create a successful PR campaign. If you want to become a client, just send us an email to nata@natapr.com. Talk to you next week. À la semaine prochaine.